Want to explain a little experience I just had, man. Yesterday I was out helping with this plant store, and it's like hot as a mug, dude. And I've been saying, man, something's weird about the sun, and it's like the heat's different. It feels like I said this a few days ago. Anyway, I'm out there all day. Well, only for a few hours, really, dude. But it's like got just baked out. I didn't realize it neither, dude. Here's the thing: if you get heat exhaustion, by the time you figure out you're heat exhausted, it's too freaking late. The symptoms is like you lose motor function. I couldn't talk to people. I'm like trying to tell them what's wrong with me. I'm like, look, dude, I feel like I'm gonna fucking die. And no, you're trying to deceive us. Like, look, they like literally the ambulance. I called the ambulance. I kept telling people like, look, dude, I'm not playing. Something's really wrong. I feel like I'm gonna fall down and die. No. There now. It's like, look, I couldn't even talk to explain it. There goes, look, something's wrong. Listen, I get drunk all the time. Listen, that doesn't make it so I cannot talk to you. You know what I'm saying? I've been high as a mug, high as a kite before. It didn't make it so I lost my ability to talk and felt like I was going to fall over and die. So when I tell someone, I'm like, listen, I feel like I'm going to freaking fall over and die. Saying a joke. I'm not playing. If I say, take me to the freaking hospital, I mean it. Because listen, if I can avoid the hospital, I will. That was like the Inquisition at first, man. They really treated me like that. Like they didn't believe anything I said. All they had to do was just believe what I said and then treat me for it. Instead of accusing me of being high, of drunk, on heroin. Because listen, I was spinning, so I kept sitting there in the waiting room, closing my eyes to make the spinning stop. And then I couldn't really talk to explain to myself what was going on. You know what I'm saying? But I did say that I was out in the heat. I could be just really dehydrated. But I forgot what it was called, the condition. It's called heat stroke. I mean, I didn't have full-scale heat stroke, but I was under heat stroke. And everyone treated me like I was just some guy trying to get free medication or something. And that was disheartening. But I had to suck it up and endure their inquisitioning. And they're all their speculations. Even the people before I even got to the hospital were doing the same thing. No. That's not what's going on. It's like Lazarus. Once again, advice for Lazarus. It's like when all you really needed to do was give him motherfucker some water. Or in other words, give him what he needs. Take me to the freaking hospital. Get a freaking IV in me because I can't even explain myself. It's too hard to talk. It's like I couldn't talk. Like, listen, like my brain, something was wrong where I couldn't talk and I kept feeling cramps. And I told him that too. I'm like, man, I feel like cramps too in my stomach. Like I'm getting nauseated. Like I'm puke. Oh, you got the flu. No, this ain't the flu neither. I've had the flu before. The flu doesn't move you, so you can't freaking talk. And that added to the illusion that you got an ODing heroin addict here. I don't freaking do heroin. I don't do intravenous things. Listen, I'd avoid the freaking hospital to avoid just them sticking a freaking IV in me. You know what I'm saying? I'm that type of person. I'm more the dumb people that waits sometimes till it's fucking way too late. Just like with this heat exhaustion. It was like, listen, I had no indicator that I was heat exhausted until it was too freaking late. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know I did kind of hold off on eating right. Yes, you know what I'm saying. So that could have added and intensified it. Because maybe I exhausted all the nutrients in my body. But it's just things ain't what they appear. And I mean, these people in this city have the stereotype that every guy who needs help is trying to get over on the system somehow, trying to game the system. It's like, no, motherfuckers, you almost let me sit there and fall out. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't end up happening. But I had a severe disorientation. I was dizzy. I felt like I was gonna fall down and die. And I mean, when you're listen, and if you have the slowed motor function, it adds to you can't think straight because your brain won't think straight because it's exhausted. Because without the water in there, it basically starts to heat up and it kind of shuts down a little bit. Certain areas, non-essential, only the most essential parts of your brain that keeps your automatic functionings going are on. But even those are impaired and kind of shut down too, and it's through exhaustion. But it's a special kind of exhaustion. It's a chemical exhaustion that makes you physically exhausted. So like to the point where you can't even speak. And you might look like you're nodding out on heroin. But I wasn't. I was fucking heat exhausted. And I try to tell them people, finally I figured out what was wrong with me. I'm like, holy shit, I got heat stroke. Heat stroke. And I told them that. And it's still, they're always going to go, right. Oh, so how many drugs you did today? You high as a motherfucker right now? You know what I'm saying? It's like I wish. If I was high right now, I probably would be able to ignore these symptoms. You know what I'm saying? But since I'm about to fall on the ground and go into a freaking coma, while you guys are sitting there speculating about what I really did, you could have just listened to me from the beginning. And look, the symptoms are really obvious. Wait, this guy has no clue. Look at him. He can't even speak. Yeah, that could be, like, I don't know what kind of drugs make it so you can't even speak. I mean, you have to take a lot of whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And, but, once again, I wasn't on that. That wasn't in my system, so they knew that. And they were real nice to me after the fact. But in the beginning, they treated me like a scum of the fucking earth and like I was coming to take their drugs. You know what I'm saying? I was on a mission to get the hospital's drugs. No, I wasn't, though. I just wanted help. I just like, listen. And like I said, I won't ask for help from people if I can avoid it. And that's why the people who do know me and know that I don't be lying, we're like, yeah, look, if he wants to go to the hospital, there must be something wrong. Yeah, so I just want to point that out. Things ain't always what they appear. And just because they probably do run into junkies a lot that OD and be lying about it. Oh, I'm this or that, and they're really not. They could just tell them, yeah, I'm ODing. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't what was going on. And I even told this lady in the thing, I said, look, if I was ODing right now, I would just tell you because I don't want to die. So if I tell you it's something else, you're not going to be able to really help the real thing that's going on. So they played some freaking game with me, man. Made me wait like extra long. It sucked. But like I said, man, look, I was serious. It was like, all right, if I have to fall out and die in this freaking waiting room for you people to just listen, hear me out. What I'm trying to tell you, I told you exactly what is wrong. Look, the symptoms. It was just heat exhaustion, and that is so simple. But these people always assume the worst. Oh, it must be a heroin overdose. Oh, he's trying to get free drugs. He must be withdrawn. No, not man. I just didn't want to die. Not yesterday. You know what I'm saying? But I felt like I was gonna die, and literally look, when your brain is like that, I didn't have hallucinations or anything like that. But look, I was just so tired I couldn't think straight. My brain was tired. It really wasn't tired, like not sleep deprived. It was chemically deprived. And then physiologically, because, I mean, once one thing starts shutting off, other things start shutting off. And then, you know what I'm saying? It's like, once you find out that that's what's going on, I even assumed it was other things. But then, it was obvious. You know what I'm saying? I thought, oh, I must have some kind of brain freaking infection. No, it was freaking heat exhaustion. And, but it was all there in the details anyway, because I told him I was out in the sun today. I don't know how much water I had. I know I drank some water, so I didn't drink any water, but I guess I just didn't drink enough. Or maybe it was, I didn't have enough, I didn't eat anything with any salt in it. You know what I'm saying? And the sun is weird, and it does kick your ass these days. Like, and look, you can look, there's solar flares and other cosmic winds and radiation flying at our planet. It is every day these days. Just people think they can go on in ignorance of the ionosphere and the geomagnetic atmosphere, all these things. And if it has an effect up there, then the sun has an effect down here on us. And maybe it can affect the body in a different way where it's more prone to that sort of thing as well. So yeah, just the best way to avoid heat exhaustion is to take the steps so you don't never have to find out when it's already too late. And then your brain's already like fogged out and you don't really understand what's going on. Because even after the symptoms kick in worse, it only intensifies the disorientation. Because that's the thing, like I said, people have seen me drunk, seen me high as a kite, and I don't do that. I would have to be like, listen, I'd have had to drink a fifth of liquor by myself to be talking. And that wasn't what was going on. Even though it kind of looked like that. But that's what heat exhaustion really does. It shuts it down so you don't have the energy. It's like your brain is cramped up. And you can't speak right. And it sucked. It was very frustrating to try to speak to someone who don't believe you while you're all fucked up and impaired and not off what they think it is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, because if I was all high and cracked out, I'd be like, blah, 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 blah. But really, it's like I was trying to speak and I'd go to speak, but then I'd lose I couldn't say it. And it was like, so I was kind of getting frustrated and being like, come on, man. And they were like, oh, he's all jacked up and jerked up. It's like, no, I'm scared. I'm scared. That's really what's going on. And you can't recognize that. You're a great employee. I even told the lady too. I said, look, it's not what it looks like. I'm telling you the truth. And she kind of toned down a little bit. But it's like they do help you with extreme prejudices. And that's all I'm trying to say. I understand that too. It's just like, look, now that they do this to me, I'm going to look at all them like they're the same. Like they look at us like we're all the same. And this is the part of Willie Lynchism and that Lazarus, advice for Lazarus, again, dude, effect. When instead of doing what you should do, you always use your own mind to think what you think that person should need. And ignore exactly what they're telling you they need.